I've been a UI developer for 8 years now. I kind of feel ancient when I talk to college going students because I think that I relate to them. But the fact is, I've been out of college for almost 10 years now. And over that time, UI as well as web traffic has evolved. I started working with JSP, and I thought that was the world. Then came uh, single page applications. React is no longer a library at all. All of these transformations we've seen. But something that came out last year really caught my attention. Okay, that means I need to get back there. Yes. So Cloudflare published its report on 2025, which is the state of the web. One stat that stood out was that the non-human traffic on the web overtook the human traffic. Crawlers, bots account for 57% of all traffic that we see on the web. This is a significant feature, but there was something else that caught my eye. There has been a 15x growth in the number of agent requests on the web. They account for 4% of all the requests that you see on the web. Now, what does this 4% mean for you? Well, when you ask an agent, is Argentina going to win the World Cup again and be back-to-back winners? For the non-football fanatics, this happens very, very rarely. A lot of people are on the edge of their seat for this. So when I asked the agent this, it went and did a web search because it has its cutoff period. Now, this is the 4% traffic. It is not crawlers, it's not bots who come to your website and try to infer what it means, but these are bots that are actively working to serve a user request. You have spun up this bot. This agent or this traffic did not exist 2 years back. Now it comes back and it tells you that Argentina is likely to win, but not if France gets to the final. Don't blame me, that's the agent telling, not me. The truth is, your website has a third user. So far, you are optimizing for users. We saw that you are optimizing even for SEO, but now you need to start thinking about agents. And these agents act on behalf of the user. This means that a user experience is now dependent on an agent experience. Trust me, I would absolutely hate it that if I ask an agent something and it tells me, go back and do the work yourself. I think you can relate with me. Let's take an example. I'm someone who's jumped on the Claude train since the past 2 years. I was a skeptic, but since the last 2 years, I know that it is much better than me. I agree with Apoorv that if I had the money, I would buy a farm now because it can do work much better than me. So when I wanted to book a restaurant, I gave it my requirements, the kind of food I like, the ambience, the places I want to go to, and most importantly, my budget. And Claude did the research for me. It came back and told me 3 restaurants, all the highlights that it worked for me, but it came back and said, do the homework yourself. Absolutely wrong. How can you ask me to work when I'm paying $20 or $100 for you? Now, this is one area that I wanted to bridge. This is where Claude did provide another utility. That is Claude for Chrome. Now, this is a Chrome extension that can work on your website. It can actively navigate your website, impersonating you, and can not only read the website, but can take actions on it. So I gave it my Easy Diner profile, and I told, find this restaurant, see if a booking is available, and make the booking for me. In addition to it, I told, okay, I have XYZ memberships, I have these credit cards, find me the right deal. It was able to navigate all of this by itself. The result of this was that at the end, I booked a restaurant that I wanted, and I did not have to make a single click. The best part, I got a 22% discount. If you know me, I'm the person who goes to a restaurant and just eats because I'm just too lazy to hunt through 5, 6 different apps to find a deal. This one is a game changer for me. And this is where the industry is heading. We were thinking about agents being consolidators of information to make it easier for us to do research, to respond in human language, but they can actively take our place. They can impersonate us and enrich our experience by taking actions on our behalf. You don't have to take my word for it. There are massive investments that are happening by the big tech companies. You can see Google is building computer use on Gemini. This is available. This is something that you can go and actively use right now. ChatGPT has their Atlas as their automation agent. We just saw Claude in Chrome in action. It has 10 million installations. And there's Perplexity Computer as well. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing out a few. So there is active investment that is happening in this space because the next frontier is that the agent does the work for you. It not only consolidates information, and that has been the summary of the talk that we've seen so far. You saw where we were talking about agentic development, where it can be more autonomous. Now, this is something that I wanted to figure out. How is Claude in Chrome being able to take these actions? How is it able to perceive a website so well that it can navigate it? Remember, Easy Diner has done nothing to make their website bot friendly. Neither have I done anything, but there are bots that are working on our websites. For this, I built a demo app. Now think that you're registering for React Nexus. This is not the actual form, because the actual form was made from a user-centric perspective. They had only 5 fields, you make a payment and you register. This is the unnecessarily complex version of it that has 3 different sections, 8 fields, all interconnected, just built with the purpose of trying to confuse an agent. Mission failed, because it succeeded all 5 times that I ran it. Now you can see the agent running through this. I gave it all of my information. If you want, my email is also there. So it was able to fill the form, navigate through different elements. So it was able to manage text elements as well as drop-downs as well, and anything that was interconnected. This is because generally agents work on these 3 modalities. So it tries to read your accessibility tree. Now this is a more optimized version of your DOM, which says what your website is capable of doing, what are the different sections, what input it has. All of that is summarized in the accessibility tree. It's one of the most performant way of navigating websites. The next one is the fallback, screenshots. It is visual models. It kind of emulates on how we would generally navigate it. And this is one modality that is cross-platform compatible. Any kind of computer automation also would fall back to screenshots. And finally, we have DOM. There is no agent in the modern era that actually crawls your entire DOM, simply because you use too many frameworks, which adds unnecessary number of div soups. So it is too expensive. Consider your Sonnet, which has 200,000 or 300,000 context window. Just that you gave it your website and all of it, like 150,000 just went in and consuming all of your DOM elements. So they do targeted search. They start chunking it, and they say, exactly, I want the navigation. I don't want your site panel. I don't want banner advertisements that you've put up on it. So this is the way an agent approaches your site. Now, one thing to call out, I ran this experiment not on one website, but actually 2 websites. Because I knew that accessibility tree was the differentiator. I wanted to see how expensive it is that instead of going to step 1, it actually goes to step 2. And the results were stark. On the accessible website, it was able to execute twice as fast, and it saved 3 times more money. So where 22 cents was there, on the inaccessible one, it became 70 cents. The objective was the same. The context was the same. Nothing was different. It was only that your website's internal code was different. Even your styling was the same. It's something that gets ignored very often, but the truth is agents as well as other users actually work on the accessibility tree. The accessibility tree is one of the core pillars of front-end engineering. It's something that we have been working on for years. It makes the web a more equitable space. I think a lot of times we treat it as an afterthought, but the accessibility tree exists for a reason, that there are users who have disabilities. And the in the internet needs to be a place that is not biased. We deal with bias enough in the world. So accessibility was a very important reason. And what the tree means is it tries to summarize your elements instead of worrying about the kind of element you're using, whether it's div or a span, or worrying about the styling or the hierarchy. It only tells you what is the content, what is the UI element that you have within your application, as well as what is their role. It looks at your page as a document and not as a collection of pixels. And the browser builds it for every single page. So like you see your DOM in the Elements tab, you have another view where you can see the accessibility tree. The accessibility tree is already used by screen readers and also automated tests. Anytime that you've written get by role in Playwright or in Cypress or get by name, it doesn't look up your DOM, it looks up at your accessibility tree. But your accessibility tree now has a new user. Those are agents. So looking at the differences between the two, you can see that when you use a div as a wrapping element instead of a form, it is an inaccessible element. So please use form when you're talking about any kind of inputs, anything that's related. Form is the semantic element. So this preps Claude or any kind of AI agent that I'm going to make inputs. Without this, it directly took a screenshot and I saw, okay, there's something that looks like an input. I probably should try entering into it. The second element is the importance of labels. Whenever you give an input, you need to attach a label to it. Either wrap the label element or give a for tag. If you don't do it, it tries to look at the placeholder and tries to interpret what it needs to enter them. And the last one, anyone who writes a card that has to be clickable, please go ahead and add a roll of button on it. Because if you do not add it, this becomes the tag that comes up. So for an agent, for a crawler, it is a static text element. It does not know it's clickable. This is very, very important. The only reason I think Claude was able to do it was because it was styled as a green color button. Now, before you jump the gun and start pre-optimizing for all of this, that agents are coming, Claude is coming, how do I build my website for Claude? Claude has security vulnerabilities. A big one was discovered in Feb, and it is still not patched. All of the other tools that I showed you, they run on elevated access. Claude runs as a Chrome extension, which means it can access your local storage of every single site. It can intercept your network calls. It can take actions on your sites. Just because Anthropic built it, we trust it. Otherwise, if I would have shipped it, you would have never installed it, given that I can access your banking records as well. This same exists with the other apps as well. You'll take a look at computer use by Gemini, by Perplexity. All of them have Puppeteer installed or a custom browser that has elevated access. They are built with the feature in mind that they are meant for pro users. They are telling you that when you sign up for it, when you install it, you are taking accountability. Claude will ask you for hundreds of permissions on the website just because it's deferring responsibility to you. Tomorrow, if something goes wrong, it's going to say, I did ask you. So all of this does take this into consideration that real usage is minimal. There are pro users who are using this. Just don't prematurely start building around this. But there is AI that exists in the browser today. That is something that goes unnoticeable, but you have something like Ask Gemini. How many of you have noticed this before? Because I think it goes quite unnoticed. Okay, I think a good 30–40%, but that is a real LLM agent that's built in. I think we've talked a lot about local agents and how you can bring LLMs into your system. That is there, but it has limitations. It is built by Google to read and reason about your website, but not take any actions. And it can only read the visible UI. So they've taken care to only allow what are the visible portions and not get under the hood, which is what makes it safe. Now, that is what makes it inactionable as well. In future, there are some good enhancements that are coming that can make your websites more interactive to agents. The exciting one that I'm looking forward to is WebMCP. This one is thinking about the inversion of intent. So far, what that we were talking about, we were telling agents are going through your websites and trying to understand what your website can do. But here, like we did with MCP, we're going to surface tools. Your website is going to surface tools that says exactly what it can do. Easy Diner will surface a tool that you can look for restaurants, find restaurants, or book a restaurant. All of that is going to be available within your website. Take a look at this example. On the left side, you can consider that it is something like an automation agent, that is Claude or computer use, Perplexity. It has to navigate your DOM, understand the elements, take actions on it. The left one takes about 15 seconds to make a booking. Whereas the right one, I think it's not playing, but on the right, we have agent calls. So agent calls will surface it as tools so that it is immediately actionable. The difference that they've seen within this demo is where an agent would take about 15–20 seconds to make a single booking. With WebMCP, it can do it within 3 seconds. I'll go forward in the interest of time. So what you're doing already needs to be continued. Make your website more accessible. That works for agents as well. And if you're really interested in it, also look into the advanced frameworks that are coming up like WebMCP. Now, to close the gap, a good experience, a good agent experience is what it takes to build a good user experience now. Because a user would want to take more and more actions in their agents. And anytime you tell them, come outside the agent and meet me in the browser, you are going to break with friction. Thank you so much.